Because when you're an asshole, it doesn't matter how right you are. Nobody wants to give you the satisfaction. I know. Everyone wants people they like to be right. That's why popular people are fucking dumb.
Before I press play, I haven't done Kevin Samuels in a minute because it gets just very repetitive to me. But something I feel is worth discussing is a conversation around whether you want results or you want credit. Because I've recently seen Tommy Sotomayor on Twitter just going ham on how Kevin Samuels took his shtick, right? But to me, it's like Chick-fil-A being upset with Popeyes for releasing a chicken sandwich, right? Like, like it's the same thing, but it's not. And honestly, whereas I'm more of a Chick-fil-A kind of guy, if you like Popeyes, then by all means, enjoy that 70% breaded, 30% one little slice of chicken, chicken sandwich all you want. I don't get it. Like the bread, it's all bread. But either ways, I'm digressing. So the message, as far as I'm concerned, will always be more important, or the results are more important than the credit or who gets credit. Even though on this channel, very often I make sure to credit a line of thought that I have to wherever I believe I initially got it from. And so during my time trying to get cannabis legalized in New Jersey, right? All of the arguments that the Jamal Hollies and everybody else of the world makes, they are the arguments that I, put forward on them. I kind of got that wheels spinning, and I've regretted it ever since because of the result, because of a portion of the results. But ultimately, I feel good. I'm glad that it was out there. It moved the needle enough for the legalization to happen, and it doesn't really matter who gets accredited for what, because ultimately, we're all here temporarily, and no one individual can have a message, take that message, and not have it reverberate throughout. Like, you want people talking about the things that you're talking about, right? Like, you want to have that conversation, or you want people having the conversation whether or not you're in the room or you're even mentioned. You want it out there in the ether. And so before we get into this, I just wanted to, let you guys know, don't always be so hungry for credit. It's okay if, if it's okay if it's not original, if it's not originally yours, or if you think you came up with it first. Like, we're all biting off of each other in one way, shape, or form. So, with that being said, I was tagged in this story. Not really this story. This Kevin Samuels interaction, and it gave me an opportunity to just lay that out on the line. And if you're stuck through all of that, let's get it busy.
Then are you really competent to even raise these children, or should they be with the state and go into foster care?
So, let me TLDR you right quick. The young lady, quote unquote young lady, right here, she dropped out of high school in the 9th grade and has 4 kids. Now, we're just gonna spoiler alert it right here. There's nothing that can be done at this point. Like, you've made your bed. There is no, Prince Charming waiting at the end of the line for this young woman at all. But because of the feminine, right? And this is something that we discuss on the channel all the time, the masculine versus the feminine. Because she is under the delusion that she's just as, her market value, her relationship market value is just as high as it was before the 4 kids. Like in her own mind, she's so strong and so independent. She's independent of the 4 lives that she made, and she still feels as if, oh yeah, she can get herself a quality man and a good man. And that's one of the things that really draws a lot of these women to Kevin Samuels, because, you know, because of his bluntness, eventually I guess they just want to hear it for themselves that, sweetie, you've made your bed, you did that, and now you have 4 other lives to put above your own. And that's really what a lot of young women don't recognize or don't realize in the choices that they make in their younger years, because they are raised to believe that they can hang with that, they're just like the boys, just like the guys, and they can fuck around and do and live it just like the men, without the exact with and have the exact same outcome, be able to just restart as easily as a man by all technical means can. And no, sweetie, no, not at all. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna tell you this. For some reason, I mean, Kevin, I pray a lot. Like I get on my knees. I pray.
God has nothing to do with this, ma'am. You were a 9th grade dropout with 4 children. If you're not going to go get a GED and decide to do something to increase your skills, to earn more money, you don't need 4 children that you can't take care of, because this is going to just repeat itself.
Oh, it's already in its process. Those 4 kids, no, I mean, God bless them. I wish the best for them, but those 4 kids are screwed. Okay. And you can tell that because she's sitting here talking about how, oh yeah, I pray. And that's another way in which they've used religion. They've used God and they've used religion to really create these blinders for women. We have so many different versions of the Bible, right? And the thing about different denominations and different thought ways of belief, different yeah, man, I guess denominations would be the word to use. The thing about that is that each one has its own different interpretation, and they remove this thing and they take out this thing and they switch this thing around and they turn this thing around, and it's all based off of what was written by guys, by men, and by man in the first place. So what they've done over the past, you know, like, I mean, shit, since the dawn of time, is manipulate and maneuver to, whereas, oh yeah, you know, before they were like, yeah, women can't preach, women can't do this, that, and the third, because, you know, back in the day, they were on to something. And now they're like, oh yeah, I can do my ministry. And I've done videos on women who are like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a minister, but I'm on OnlyFans showing my asshole. It's like, okay, wow, yeah. That is like, things have gotten so turned around that that's where we are as a society right now, where it's just like the women, the female of our culture are so, you know, so self-absorbed and so narcissistic that it doesn't even register, and so lacking self-awareness that it doesn't register to them that, you know, that time that you had, particularly when you was popping out those kids, for the most part, that should be done and over with.
And I want people who are feeling sympathy for you to understand. This woman said she's addicted to social media. I don't understand how you say you don't have time when you're on social media all goddamn time. Remember that? So how you gonna tell me you don't have time when you're addicted to social media? Hello? This one I'm not.
Yeah. See, the deal is that's that circular logic. And when you sit there and throw a stick, right? It's just like a bicycle wheel, right? This is the wheel spinning. You throw a stick into that circular logic, is, you know, like the ability to respond quickly is just, it ain't there, bro. Like, brick wall.
This is why I'm not too swayed by women's tears.
I mean, I love your heart. I love that you harsh and like.
It's not harsh, man. It's the reality. You decided to make 4 people.
Thank you.
11, blah blah blah, and 2 years old. The first child, we can say you were young. You had out of high school, but not 2, 3, and certainly not a 2-year-old. You know, when you had a 2-year-old, you had a 9th grade education.
And what's happening with a bum that you clearly aren't even still with. Like the female mind, the feminine mind confuses sex with love. Easy. And because we have this culture, because we've set up this society where, you know, by all means, like the kids, we'll make sure you get a check and some money for the government, the state will be there for those kids. You know, the consequences for those actions aren't respected at all. This woman doesn't even respect the fact that she's created 4 completely different and unique individuals who all need the exact same love and attention that she herself more than likely lacked. And boom, here we go. Keep going.
Now you have your tubes tied, thank God. But this is where you are. If ain't nobody around you gonna tell you, you need to get your shit together. You need to get your shit together. This is trifling.
True.
Thank you, Kevin.
Don't think we do something. You got 3 girls and a boy.
And that's the thing, Kev. She can't do anything. She's stuck. I'm sorry. Not to laugh, but she's stuck. There is like you've made like that. That's the one of the largest. I've always deemed it like the largest stepping stone. Like, is making another person and being responsible for the protection and the upbringing of that person. And once again, you know, 4 different kids, probably by 4 different dudes, very likely, because let's be real, that like she probably got a body and she one of those like, yo, her body is just super dope. All right. But, let's be real. But a face. I mean, it's country time. Like, is that country time? Yeah, country time. The butter's country time, right? Either ways, that's not the lemonade. I think the lemonade's country time. Croc is something. Crocker. Country croc? Is it country croc lemonade? Is that one? No, it's not country croc lemonade because it's country time lemonade. You know what? I've gotten off of subject. Let's keep going.
If McDonald's will hire illegal immigrants, they will hire you.
Yeah, but let's be real. McDonald's ain't gonna sit there and cover this broad and what she feels like she needs, because she's gonna be complete. She was irresponsible with her body, so she's gonna be completely irresponsible with her money.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Kevin. Like, I know a lot of females would not get on this live and be honest the way I'm being honest. Like,
and then she go comparing herself to other females, and it's like, sweetie, like, you know what? Y'all all more alike than you think. And you know what? Scratch that. Commend her for it. All right, like, real talk. Like, because Kevin's being honest with her, but real talk, he eventually comes to the point where he's just like, there's nothing that I can do for you. And honestly, a lot of females should really come to that realization before the kid. All right, like, that's the thing. No kid, you're on point. You're doing great. Just hold out a little bit. Like, I'm pretty. There's tons of guys. There's tons of good dudes that want to have families. All right, just hold out with that. Haven't had kids, want to have families. Just all you got to do is actually meet them, and that's where things get weird. But ultimately, like, when you go from 0 to 1, you've really screwed yourself, sweetheart. And this is a conversation I try having with my sister when she basically adopted my nephew, because our niece had a kid, and my sister, and I'm telling my sister, like, you sitting here green lighting this, you're gonna end up raising that kid. And guess what? She ended up raising the kid. I'm like, Nicole, like, you now have a kid. You're now a single mother. This, like, you really think you're gonna get some? And her and even my mom were sitting like, oh yeah, there's some guy that's gonna sit there and completely simp out for this shit. And I'm like, y'all, like, how do y'all keep not listening to me? And to this day, I'm pretty sure if wedding bells were on the horizon, I'd know about it. So guys, with that being said, this one's gone long enough. all the internet stuff. If you like it, toss a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. So you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications, get something from Teespring. Check me out on Patreon as well. Links in the description. Actually go in the description box and do damage and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Going back to the beginning of the video, look, credit, the idea being out there should be, gratitude enough, right? Getting the idea into the right hands that can actually, like, once again, when it came to cannabis legalization and what happened to urban America and our communities, like getting that idea into the hands of Rice and Holly and McKnight, because they are the elected officials and the people in that in a position to actually do something about it, or what to actually advocate for it, was more important to me than them sitting there saying, and thank you, Jay, for telling us about this. I never expected it. I never wanted it. I just want you should just want the idea out there, because the idea will live longer than you or I or anyone else. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Oh yeah, and seriously, yeah, sweetheart, you're done. like you're done. Like throw in the towel. Seriously, be grateful for even the piece of shit news that you run across now, because, I mean, like, you know what? I'm pretty sure she could find a sucker. I mean, crazier things have happened, but you may disagree. That's what comment sections are for. Until the next one.
Men, we don't know what we did.